So what's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be going through a top 8 deck analysis from the TKETTST, the largest online UniVersus event that we have had thus far over on my Twitch, twitch.tv/TamCardwell. So if you missed it, you're watching this on YouTube, go out and click the link in the description down below. Give it a follow for whenever I go live. We're going to be doing that significantly more often. And with that said, let's go ahead and just jump into it. Let's go ahead and jump into our 6th place Keenan Meadows playing Cowboy Andy. Let's flip this guy and spread it out. All right. So Cowboy Andy. What does Cowboy Andy want to do? This is a weird water bottle. Anywho. All right, so Cowboy Andy is the definition of a gas, a gas. He pumps huge stats on things, and after you destroy stuff, you build the top card of your deck face down. So the more that you can destroy your committed foundations to build fresh, ready, face down foundations, turn it back sideways as you continue to play attacks. And the more that you can build your foundations and find ways to reuse this destroy effect, the bigger and scarier your attacks are. And so we kind of have this building sub-theme in order to extend our combos crazy big. So the first 4 of, which I have laid out our stats into 4 ofs, 3 ofs, 2 ofs, 1 ofs, is we're playing Exploding Flame War. This card does everything that Andy does. Look, this card builds cards, this card builds cards, this card gives stats, this card gives stats, this card stuns, this card doesn't stun, this card stuns. This card is just Cowboy Andy on an attack card. Very strong. You give it a bunch of speed off of Andy because of being able to build additional resources. And then you just get to continue to play more crazy big strings. Yeah, card's great. Card's very good. Out of 4/3, 6 mid for 4, even that by itself is like very good in our character that gives a bunch of stats. Super strong stuff. Up next, we have arguably the best attack in the game, Nuseong style Scarlet Meteor. This card has too many words to be bad. It gives stats because of powerful. He gives stats. It's another Andy card. This card builds foundations. This card builds foundations. There's so much that we get to do in order to cheat and make our game plan more successful with Scarlet Meteor and finding good, potent cards in order to make our aggressive turns even more aggressive. Starting at a 5 high for 5. Minimum 6 high for 6 because of Andy's response. After 1 or more foundations is added to your staging area, this card has one. You get to just blow up, get some more crazy stuff. This card's super good. And more importantly, you can destroy an asset. One of the easiest ways to stop Andy, honestly, is just to play the card Bang. Just playing Bang just kind of shuts Andy out of the game, right? Because his entire gimmick is completely on his face. If you take and you play Bang, that seals on my opponent's seals 1 card in my opponent's staging area, it's probably going to be Andy himself. And so this card is a bit of a safe way to push on your attacks. Up next, we've got Bamboo Blind Slice. This card does build on my opponent's turn, which it feels fine. It combos. It's a good reversal threat. Honestly, I don't love it inside of here, but it's kind of one of the only real defensive pieces that Andy has. I think this card is cool. I'm not positive that it needs to be a 3 of in the deck. It's not quite the choice that I would have made. Conversely, though, it is a weapon and a combo for Exploding Flame War, which feels really good because it has to have weapon and attack, and Exploding Flame War builds weapons and combos. And so with this card not being a combo and only feeling one part of that requirement, Bamboo Blind Slice does feel both requirements so that you can Exploding Flame War a little easier. Yeah, I think this card is totally fine inside of Cowboy Andy. I'm not positive that it is the best choice. Up next, we've got Nutcracker at a 3 of. This card is just one more time, just has a ton of Andy energy. I have found one of the big issues with Andy, honestly, is he runs out of hand. I think Andy losing his hand size is actually pretty rough. And so Nutcracker being able to draw an additional card and put a resource into your card pool with a card like Let's Cut Loose to build that card down, you get to trigger Andy and then destroy another card in order to keep popping off. Oh my goodness. You know what I also just noticed? Inside of this deck, there is not the maxi card, Burning with Revenge. That is the best card to add in with Nutcracker. Where is that card? Where's Burning with Revenge? What did we cut for Burning? Interesting. And then the other reason that this card is not amazing inside of this particular build, this is not a weapon card. And so you have to play, it's also not a combo, so you can't even attempt to build this guy down. Like this card cannot leave your card pool if it is Exploding Flame Lord, right? Yeah, it's not spectacular. That card don't do nothing. Huh. Are you saying, Cadium, are you saying the Burning with Revenge? Man, I don't know why I can't keep thinking of that card. Shay, by the way, I agree. You also could play Passing the Torch in order to help with this Nutcracker problem. And honestly, it's probably a better choice because of wanting to get more resources and have just a better, stronger attack lineup if we are going to be committing to this Exploding Flame War. Yeah. Anywho, Spirit Sword Thrust. Ooh, I love this. Enhance, add the 3 face-down foundations from your staging area to your hand, and you get 1/1 for each. So we have used Andy's twice per turn to destroy and build a couple cards face down. Oh, look, it's 2 Scarlet Meteors. I would like to go pick those Scarlet Meteors up and end the game. That sounds super rad. Desperation 4, which feels great with my 20 health character. After you smack me for 11, this guy's a 4 diff 8 mid for 8. That's probably getting bigger with Andy. Yeah, this card's fantastic. I love the fact that it's a 2-of because it doesn't have a block. I think it is a perfect at a 2-of. And I think even in a non-weapon build, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, you feel good about playing this guy at a 2-of. I love this choice. This should be at a 2-of in every single Andy build. I have decreed it. It is a law now. Up next, Deflection Swing. Deflection Swing is fantastic. Actually, I would rather have played 3 Deflection Swing and 2 Nutcracker inside of this deck because of what Deflection Swing does. It lets you reuse your super cool flip abilities, as well as you get to pick up cool stuff that Andy has done. I think this card is really, really strong to the point where I would even put this at a 4-of. I think this card is crazy. Whenever I played Andy for the campus championships over on TCG University, this card was such an MVP. Like, it was so strong. Yeah, I loved this card in Andy. So now let's talk about Andy as a whole. So I have not done a ton of research and ton of playtesting with Andy, but I think this attack lineup being so in on Exploding Flame War is actually detrimental to the plan, right? I understand that, so potentially detrimental to the plan. It is kind of doubling down on what it is that how the deck wants to work, but I actually feel like possibly playing other big bombs and not having to play Exploding Flame Roar and Bamboo Blind Slice might be the correct play. Once again, there is an asterisk there. I have not played enough Andy to do it. One of the characters that if I were to play in events, he would definitely be on my short list to be trying to run, though. He's a very, very cool aggro combo. You gotta get there character. I think he's very, very rad. Yeah. All right, on to the actions and assets. We've got 4 Let's Cut Loose. This card is phenomenal inside of Andy because of the idea of you Nutcracker, take any foundation you want, put it in your card pool, check this on a 5 and build it down. Even if you check a 3, you'll still commit 2 cards sideways, and then now you have 2 perfect cards to blow up with Andy. Yeah, it's great. Seems super good. This card, Let's Cut Loosing down a Honky Tonk Woman is like one of the most amazing feelings that you have in the entire game. It feels so good. Yeah, it feels super strong. As well as it lets you draw an additional card, or you can just play your Let's Cut Loose on defense, draw a card. It's very, very good. Just like, they've banned Pot of Greed in some games, so our Pot of Greed has a 6 check, which feels great. 1 United Kingdom of Smash, which I think is interesting because of the fact that we are playing Deflection Swing, right? United Kingdom of Smash is a Deflection Swing light. It's a Deflection Swing every turn, but it doesn't do any damage. It just pumps damage. So like this card and this card have the same job. We could have just played more of these. Main reason for the 3x 1 of nature, it was the only way to getting Roar to stick. I completely agree, which, yeah, we'll get to. This card and this card are, like, needed inside of the good symbol together. Like, very, very good. To the point where if Cutman... Does he have the good symbol? Question mark? He does. If Cutman was playing under the good symbol and not water, we'd have to play 1 of nature. Thank you, Caddium. Who is Keenan inside of the chat? Who he does all this. Keenan, I'll ask you a question. How do you feel about a slower Andy that actually plays White House instead of Let's Cut Loose? Is that a thing that you have thought of? Is that a thing that you've maybe considered? Because I think I want to really try White House Andy. I think slowing the game down might be one of the things that Andy like wants to do. Once again, no testing. I've not tested that even a little bit. But yeah, UK Smash lets you pick cards up as well as give speed on your attacks, which is one of the things that Andy has to do because you can give as much damage as you want. Like +1/+1 twice does not feel amazing if they just block it, right? Yeah, feels good. Up next, we got Four Sense of Morals. Easy build, specifically because this event was the TKETTST, and we're playing with those newfangled Rochester rules. If you go second, you get to draw 2 additional cards in order to try and close the gap between turn 1, turn 2 win percentages. And so Sense of Morals is one of those cards that lets you just have huge build turns as you build out on turn 2, or on your turn 1 going second, excuse me. And so this card feels great with this, as well as Nutcracker, as well as you can play this plus any attack into Let's Cut Loose and feel great. Shadow of a Cowboy, staple under all 3 of these symbols. Even better with Andy because it lets you build 2. New Young Scarlet Meteor with Shadow of a Cowboy makes this the biggest attack in all of existence. So we have a Shadow in our staging area. We destroy Shadow with Scarlet Meteor to build in Shadow. Shadow builds a foundation. And then we rebuild our Shadow with Scarlet Meteor. So we've built twice. We respond with Andy. So now this is a 7 high for 7. And then with Andy, we destroy Shadow to then build 1 in with Andy and gets another +1. And then with Shadow's ability, it builds 1 in for another +1. And so this is a 9 high for 9 for free. It's a 9 high for 9 that we just got a thing, right? Yeah, I think these 2 cards in tandem together, yum, 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 yum. And it gets even stronger with Honky Tonk Woman being able to build in your shadows, right? Excuse me. Being able to build in your Shadow of a Cowboys are super crazy strong. So you have Honky Tonk, you flip, you build in your Shadow of a Cowboy, and then do the exact play that I just said, and you have built an additional resource as well as get an additional +1/+1. So these are now 10 high for 10s that just mollywop you. And you haven't really spent any resources. You've done basically nothing. Up next, One with Nature as our first 3 of. This makes you discard your bad non-attack cards in order to push your attack cards through. Also, Keenan, why are you playing so few attacks in this character that builds for free, right? This character, from what I saw, you're playing 4, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 attacks, and that's it? Were you getting your attacks big enough to just try and one-shot people? Because I actually feel like Andy wants to be a string character that just also has accidentally big attacks, right? That's at least how I feel about the character. Maybe I'm coming about it at a different way. Once again, I've done no playtesting. This is all hypothetical. Love to hear your thoughts, Caddium. I love to hear your thoughts, Keenan. But yeah, One with Nature, discard a card for, you're playing 19. Did I miss a card? I'm missing a card. I don't have the list pulled up. Honestly, I might have missed it. I tried to save everybody's deck lists that were on the table, and I only got 4. So, I think I had 3 deflection. Hey, well, there you go. That is probably why I'm sitting over here complaining about not having enough deflection swings. There were 3 of them. One of nature pumps damage. It pumps damage, it pumps speed. It says that these very slow attacks, if I don't get a chance to Andy, actually connect, which is super good. Up next, we've got Triple Keiko's Aid. We love Girlfriend. Girlfriend says that after I block something, my opponent, it's way harder for them to kill me. Honestly, we could even play 4 of it if we feel like we are dying. Girlfriend is crazy, crazy strong. Bakery Poster Girl. Blocking is cool. Blocking is rad. Bakery Poster Girl plus Let's Cut Loose is auto block whatever you want. So they play their 3rd enhance of the turn. You destroy Bakery Poster Girl, and then Let's Cut Loose and go grab it. You can block with it, or whatever cool block zone that you need. Card's very, very strong. Probably should be playable committed if we're gonna be honest. This card did not need that ability. Police Connections. Before a card will be flipped due to your opponent's effect, flip this card. I hate this card. I think this card is super bad. What down here is so important that we need flip protection. Like this not needed. Super not needed. I would have much rather had this be pretty much anything else. It has gnarly stats. It's a 1/6 with a 1 mid block. Like, it's really good, but I think its effect is fairly blank. Overly Dramatic. Existing is a very good card. After my opponent would try and touch the stats of my card, or after my opponent would try to touch the stats of their card in a specific way, I get to cancel it. Yeah, that's very, very good. And I love the Deadlock Enhance of remove. This is what the card says. It says remove, Deadlock Enhance, remove : go add a Scarlet Meteor from your discard pile to your hand, which is a really good, really specific effect. Like, it's really, really strong. Yeah, this card just being able to go find one of these 3 power plays is super good, or maybe even a Bamboo Blind Slice on defense with a block reversal. It's very, very strong. You could maybe see yourself putting this up to a 3 of, maybe one of them in the sideboard if you feel games are going really long. Yeah, I think there's something there. Double Protecting the Protector. This card's very good versus things that want to seal. This is kind of our bang hate, and a really good use of our momentum, right? So this card uses momentum for speed. This one uses it for damage. This is for negating attacks. This is for also speed. But besides that, nothing over here, it looks like, uses momentum. Yeah. So if we're deciding not to just pump stats on things, we have a bit of a defensive ability with protecting on our face. Totally fine. 1/5/2 low block. I think this card being at a 1 of could also suffice, but Keenan wanted to see it. Triple Protecting. You had 3 of this card? Huh. Did I just miss every card out of your deck? Now I have to actually stop. I was down for missing 1 card. I'm not down for missing 2. You guys can enjoy Snake Eater as it plays. Okay, so this just in. Yes, it is 3 Deflection Swing, which I'll make a copy of that and put it over here. Oh. Copy. Boop. And then 3 Protecting the Protector. Let me check and see real fast. It does not look like I missed anything else. I will keep that up in case I mess up again. My bad. The 3rd from last card is Protecting. I thought I fixed this. Now I'm embarrassed. Boop. Okay. Back to it. So Triple Protecting the Protector. Apparently it was sitting over here, which is weird. I thought I had organized it better, and my apologies. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to Kieran Soul. Kieran Soul, great throw hate. We probably have another one in the sideboard. Boop, there it is. Yeah. Card's absolutely fantastic. It's super, super good. Emergency Rations. If I had to make a top 5 underrated cards in UniVersus at this exact moment, this card would probably be number 1. After my opponent plays a non-character ability in the staging area, abilities can't be played on it for the rest of the turn. This card is so potent versus so much stuff that is so free. If my opponent has a ton of cards stacked up that have the same name, they play it 1 time, they can't do it anymore. They can't. They're not allowed to. You have a reusable asset like Omega Sword and Owl Shield. This card says no to it. This card is so good with this. It is so good. Yeah, as William says, this card says that every time that you blow something up with Sea Salika or you grab your momentum, you're not allowed to respond for the +2 or -2 with Sea Salika. Like there's such good responses that can happen over and over and over again. It's so good. And as Jose pointed out, it's got a low block underwater, which is great. Super good. I've played it against TK Mastery. Oh wow, this card's so good. Man. Yeah. Tijuana Groceries. Yeah, this card's so unbelievably good. You should for sure be slotting this in at a 2 of, and honestly, you should probably slot a 3rd in. In the Fey deck that I would have played, that Chris Miner played. Big shout out to Chris Miner for playing the Fey deck that I made. Sorry, he made the Fey deck inspired by my Fey deck. Let's not get it twisted. This card's so strong. Also, random discard hate. Yeah. It's got another blank ability on it, because discard pretty much doesn't exist inside of standard. Up next, we've got Marrying Age as our last 2 of. Anytime my opponent readies a card, I'm gonna ready a card. It's a big sense of morals hate, which doesn't exist. So I guess because we don't, I guess we stun here. So if they send some morals after I've comboed off of Bamboo Blind Slice, it works. But there are plenty of other cards that ready as well. Right, like From Hell readies, or no, excuse me, Hell's Reach readies, and other random things. Although Sense of Morals is the main offender, if they ready something that I have stunned, which just doesn't really exist. 1/4 too high. Not to mention, this card feels really good to enhance commit +2 speed, blow it up with Andy. It becomes a face down, and we get an extra 1/1. So 3 speed, 1 damage off of a card. That is totally worth it. Let's get a high on demand. Yeah. Fair point. Yeah, this card's good stats with a little counterplay. Refusing to let go washes 1 attack, specifically a multiple. Feels great. We don't really have a good multiple out inside of this deck. And then Confronting Jeddah essentially doubles our damage on an attack because of we get +1/+1 for everyone. So now 1 attack gets +1/+2 for every Andy trigger. Not to mention, Andy, as much as we say things get +1/+1, things also get -1/-1. So it actually could be, instead of -1/-1 on attack, it can be -1/-2 on attack, which means now we don't have to bother blocking it. Yeah, good card. I like the 1 of. It maybe could be cut for something a little more on brand, but I don't hate it. So my my overall thoughts on the main board is, yeah, it's great. I think it looks like a classic Andy. Sorry, I missed the deflection swing in the list. My opinion on Andy as a character is we have seen plenty of Let's Cut Loose decks. Once again, I've done no testing. I really want to see a White House Andy and see what that looks like. I would love to see how a slower, more methodical Andy looks. Playing these big, long attack strings, a bunch of deflection swings, being able to build down, pick up, move on, right? Like a fun multiple Andy. Like, that sounds fun to me. I don't know. Yeah, let me know about the main board in chat or in the comments. Let's go ahead and look at his sideboard. So, we got triple stop. We are so tired of our opponent's character. Yeah, stop is a fantastic tool. Specifically inside of this top 8, it beats this character, hopefully. It beats Kubara, hopefully. It beats Spike, hopefully. Demolishes Cutman. It doesn't do too terribly much versus Lord Raptor. It's very hard to play stop against Lord Raptor. He's probably already destroyed a Committed Foundation. And the +2/+2, like, it's good, but even as committed on my opponent's turn, on our turn, his stuff still gets Breaker. So, like, it's not spectacular versus these 2 characters, but it is good enough for sure. 1 extra overly dramatic in the sideboard feels great. I said we could possibly side in the 3rd for longer games, so cool. I'm on the same wavelength. 1 more Kieran Soul to stop the throws. Good throw hate. Double Cool and Focus. I like this a lot. Easy multiple block. So I did say in the main board that we don't have a ton of multiple hate, and it looks like he has sideboarded his multiple hate in, because for anybody who does not know, if you block a multiple copy with Cool and Focused, it puts it back to its printed speed, which is the printed speed on a face down card is 0, and then the zone is also mid, because you just have to default back to what the classic zone is, which is mid. So you now have a free block against a multiple copy. Card's very, very cool, and it's got great art. Look at his jawline. He's so cool and focused. And the last card in our sideboard I love is Unlikely Allies. After my opponent plays a responsibility on an attack card, cancel its effects. Hey, look at this guy. He plays responsibilities all over the place. Yeah, I'm super down to try and stop Lord Raptor from being an absolute terror with triple Unlikely Allies on the main board. Super, super good. Really, really heads up choice to include Unlikely Allies in your sideboard because of how potent Raptor is in Standard. So yeah. Yeah, thank you very much for watching this one. Chat, once again, let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it a little bit over on Twitch. YouTube, let me know down in the comments down below. What do you think of Keenan's deck? What would you change? What would you add? Was it the perfect build? Let me know. Yo, I canceled Evil Bow with it. Yeah, that's hot, actually. That's super, super cool. Oh, I keep trying to save. Is the search having like a yellowish orange thing, and then save having a yellowish orange thing, and both having S's? My lizard brain keeps just running to it. Yeah, Keenan, I like this build. So Andy's one of those characters that absolutely fascinates me. It's so easy just to like look at Andy and go, "Oh my goodness, I'm gonna kill him as fast as I can." But I actually think like a more meticulous, more like a mid-range Andy deck sounds very, very cool. Like, this is crazy. I know I'm not supposed to say these words on stream, so please don't report me to Twitch. Don't tell Daddy Jeff Bezos. I think Princess Perry Andy seems hype, right? Like this crazy defensive Andy that like always blocks and always whatever's. Like if they banned Kevin Broberg, I think under the good symbol, this card could have played the Princess Perry Kevin Broberg deck. I've never put any thought in this character. I thought he'd be banned by now. I mean, yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Oh no, Tim's here. Tim, I'm sorry I said the PP word. I didn't mean to. Tim, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. But yeah, good job, Keenan. Cool deck.